Hello and welcome back. I have been trying to kind of tape a little bit of how-to on my DIY ornament. So I won't be uploading this right away, so if you did watch part one, still in the same outfit that I taped my last two videos in, so lots of taping just to kind of get some of these pieces put together, and then I'm going to upload a couple of them tomorrow or the next day, depending on how far I get tonight with this, but I wanted to show you the progress of what I've been doing. So here you go. Whoa. The lighting now is really difficult. Let me see if I can adjust that. Okay. Well, I lost some of my actual lighting, but this actually shows this off better. So as you can see, I am finishing up with the pants right now. I did the gold buttons, and I'm using red sequins for the pants, and then a clear, or I think they actually just call it a glass colored bead. I did this because I couldn't find my red. So, in order to place your sequins in, you just bring your needle up through the bottom of the felt. You load then your needle with a sequin and you top it off with a bead. I use these glass beads. Let me see if I can find one with an actual label here to give you an idea. So they're these glass beads, and the size or the variation of it that I generally use for these is called a seed. So I think it's because it looks a little bit like a tiny seed. It's really small. It's sometimes very hard to find the center of it so you can put your needle through, but once you get into the hang of it, it's not that bad. So as you can see, I have my sequin and my bead placed on here. And now I'm going to bring the needle and thread back down through the same hole of the sequin that I first came up in, and it will secure it in there because of that bead. So the bead is very important. I can't tell you how many times when I've done these, I have put the sequin on, I go back down, and then it just falls right off because I totally forgot to secure it in with a bead. So very important. Don't miss that step, because you will be going right back through that same spot. I've done it many times. So as you can see, I just pulled the needle and thread up through the piece again, and now I'm going to take a new sequin. It's very small, so it's hard to show really on camera here. I'm going to put it on top of my needle, and I'm looking for a bead here. Honestly, one of the hardest parts of this is when you're working, just finding like good places to put things, because if you don't have that color in an actual, I have a lot of little carrying cases. I'll show you one of them. I just don't want it to open up, but like this. So as you can see, different sequins, different beads, all throughout, different colors. But I have several of these, and I only have a small selection here. Most of them are at my mother's house, which is where we normally do most of these, but when I'm working on my own projects or I'm doing my own, I have a few sets of my own, as well as some that I've taken based on certain projects that I was working on last week. So you just have to keep everything handy, available to you, and then you just keep moving forward. So it's a very detailed job as far as like repetitiveness and everything, but it is a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. It's a good stress relief after your workday is done. So that's kind of where I'm at, but I will be continuing on, and then hopefully sometime tomorrow I will be showing you the black and then the finished, and eventually how I'm going to put the two sides together. So thanks, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello and welcome back. I am going to be finishing up, at least I hope so, my DIY Christmas ornament. This has been something that I just kind of put together on the fly. If you watched my first part, you will have seen kind of what I've done in the past with regards to these felt and sequin and beads, and how they relate to my family's Christmas stockings. And now I'm taking the basic concept and creating an overall ornament with it. So today I'm going to be assembling the ornament and The only thing that I don't really have a plan for as of yet is the way to string the way to hang the ornament. So it's the only part you won't really get, but I'll kind of explain what I'm planning to do with that and hopefully be able to insert a picture at the end. So I apologize. It's the first time I've done a DIY. Um, so this is the finished piece. So if you watched the first part of, well, actually, in this particular video, the first half of this is actually going to be me showing off kind of my process of how I go ahead and assemble this. As you can see, I'm going to get in here close for you. I've got the yellow here for the buttons, and then I've got red for his pants, and then black for the upper part. So what I'm doing next is I am taking a look as I lay the two pieces together and basically just trimming any little areas that might be a little bit off. So I don't know if you can really truly see this. You can kind of see a little bit of the gray at the bottom of his pants there, so I'm just going to use my crafting scissors. I recommend that you get really good scissors. My first part of this, I didn't have the best scissors in the world, and already I can tell you these are Fiskars scissors. So one, they're sharp, so that's very important, and two, they make a nice clean cut. So you want to make sure that you're using the right kind of scissors for this. And I've got one little other trim to go right here. So, oops. And something that isn't quite working out as I'd like for it to do. So, this is kind of the hard part to do while on camera I'm talking about it, but I'm doing my best here. So, now that I have that better in terms of the trim, what I'm going to be doing now is simply applying some hot glue to this piece. So this is the backer piece. Now normally I would have used a black piece of felt for this to, give Mickey the traditional black background, or I could have also sequined the back of this. That's your other option. Really, it's up to you how you want to do something like this. You can sequin both sides. You can also stuff a little bit of stuffing in between the two, kind of make it a little more fluffy. I've thought about it. I've even thought about using some of my crinkle paper from my subscription boxes just to kind of add, well, at least to me, I would know it'd be that little extra element of fun. But I'm thinking maybe on my next one, which is going to be a Mike Wazowski. I've got a fun little design already done up for it, and I just recently got my green beads to go along with that because I didn't have any green beads, and I'm going to be hopefully putting that one together. So maybe I'll do something a little bit different with that one. So I've just gone ahead and I put my hot glue onto the felt, and now I'm going to carefully lay this part on top, and already I know that I have laid it down a little uneven. So this is the fun part, and I'm sure if you've ever worked with felt, and especially if you've ever worked with hot glue, sometimes you're not as careful, as precise. I might still go back and do a little bit more trimming then on this because of how it got laid out here, but I'm going to let it glue. I'm going to let the glue dry a little bit first. But so here you go. Here's the back. And what I'll plan on doing is, because I've given it this double backing, I'm going to have a little bit more leadway in terms of using a little bit of this back screen and be able to put a little bit of the string through that. I might even just do a little loop and then use a normal ornament hanger, so I'm not necessarily using just that loop, that string. But also one of the options is to go from the center here, so it'll be hanging like this and a little bit straighter on the tree. So I think that's actually where I'm going to put it. So that's it, minus the actual string and minus the hook for it. But once I get that in, if I finish that up tonight, I will hopefully insert a picture in the comments below so you can see that. But here we go. This is a nice and simple DIY. Um, as I said, it's not hard. It's time consuming. It is sometimes a little bit of a detailed project in terms of you have to be um, very meticulous of where you put your placement of your sequins. Make sure that you're always using the same size. I know that in my red, for instance, I know there are areas where the red is a little bit different in size at parts. And then also some of my sequins, when I picked them up, I put them on, I realized that they had a little bit of a milky look to it instead of the clear for my red one. So, it's things like that from far away on the tree. I don't think anybody's going to notice it, but I know, and I am a bit of a perfectionist on that stuff, so I'm gonna have a hard time with giving it to anybody else. But I think I'll just probably use it for myself, my friends, somebody like that. But definitely looking forward to trying the same thing out with Mike Wazowski. Kind of gonna do him in Tsum Tsum form, just with the red, just the head itself. So I'm not doing the full body or anything like that. So I will hopefully be able to share with you a little bit about that. And please let me know if you have any other DIYs that you like to do or something similar or other ideas that you have that I could possibly do with this. My other idea for this is doing magnets. I have these square felt pieces. I was thinking about making these pillow-ish kind of things. They wouldn't be actual pillows, but something like that, or door hangs. That was my other idea for that. So just kind of having fun with this and trying some things differently as I'm waiting to start my next parts of my project on my stockings. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you like what I've created here. And if you have any questions or just want to talk to me about crafts or Disney or whatever, hit me up in the comments below. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, and I hope you're having a very magical day.